The original Splatoon was a great game. Everybody loved it, myself included. My only issue with the game was the single player content. And not because it wasn't good, quite the opposite. It was awesome. My problem is there wasn't enough of it. So, as I'm sure you can imagine, as soon as I learned of Splatoon 2's existence, the first thought that went through my mind is, man, I really hope they nail that single player thing again and do more of it. And, well, we learned a lot about Splatoon 2 since then. So, does it follow through with that hope? The single player mode definitely wasn't supposed to be the main draw to Splatoon. Its main purpose is to get players acclimated to Splatoon's controls and mechanics for use in the multiplayer modes like Turf War, ranked battles, and that hasn't changed for Splatoon 2. In fact, I think this will serve as an even better jumping off point for the new Horde mode, Salmon Run. So even though it's not the main course, I'd say the single player content is definitely worth playing through. There has been some great platforming stages with interesting ways to utilize unique abilities Inklings have available to them, and some of the best boss fights in any Nintendo game in quite some time. And to top that all off, there's even some lore for those that care about that sort of thing. Off the bat, it's clear that Nintendo wanted to keep a similar vibe to the original with Splatoon 2 single player mode. In the first game, we were accosted by an old squid dude that wanted you to follow him underground to help him and his fallen apprentices and grandchildren, Agent 1 and 2, or, spoilers, Callie and Mari, and their efforts to defeat the Octarians and retrieve the Great Zapfish, Ankopolis' power source. In this game, that same old man, Captain Cuttlefish, seems to have been kidnapped. Again, but from the start this time. Also, if that wasn't enough drama for you in a Nintendo game about squids that can turn into kids, the Squid Sisters relationship also seems to be on the rocks. Long story short, in the original game, there were these events called Splatfest that pit two opposing things like cats and dogs, pirates versus ninjas, SpongeBob versus Patrick. Long story, all I have to say is RIP Miiverse, against each other for people to battle in favor of their favorite thing in order to crown that the winner. The final Splatfest was between Callie and Mari, and it ended in a win for Mari, which initially seemed to benefit the both of them equally, but eventually propelled Mari to a new level of superstardom as a solo act and drove the two of them slowly apart. After a long time of trying to rekindle their close relationship, Callie mysteriously disappeared, which leads us to our involvement in this whole thing. Just like Captain Cuttlefish recruited us, the player, to save the Great Zapfish, Agent 1 and Agent 2 in the first game, Mari is recruiting us to save Callie in this one. Also, anybody that's going to correct me and say it's Marie in the comments, I don't know. I just figure it's a pun on Callie Mari. So a lot of things are similar, but new at the same time. This game now takes place in a new location called Ankopolis Square. Old storekeeps have relocated, some people have outright been replaced, new trends have emerged, but familiar aspects also remain. We still are armed with the hero gear from the original game, albeit with the added bonus that the extra single player weapons are no longer linked to amiibo. This time around, Sheldon from the original game is out for profit in free beta tests, so the additional weapons are being used as the form of extra replayability, being that they change the approach to each level due to their different strengths and weaknesses. You ain't going to clear a stage with the roller in the same way that you would with a splatter shot. I'd say this change is 100% necessary because we don't seem to be getting many more stages than we did in the original game. From the looks of this pre-release footage, we still have 5 worlds, with what looks to be varying amounts of stages. These stages do, however, have a ton of variety, just like the original. There's new mechanics introduced, like special platforms called ink furlers that roll up tight until they're hit with the hero's ink, which lays it out to swim across for a short period of time. A physics-based weapon in the environment called Verlonium, which can be volleyed back and forth between the player and Octarians, with the loser being squished as a result. And soaps. Any game with soaps is a better game. Okay, well, almost any game. Either way, I'm sure that there's more that we'll see when the game is released. And though I do have a feeling it'll still be short, I do have hope that it'll be an enhanced experience overall. But those are my thoughts. What do you think? Are you ready for the Splatoon 2 single player? Or are you just going to dive right into the online multiplayer fun? Or maybe the new Horde mode? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, ring the bell so you're notified when I decide to upload a video that isn't scheduled for the regular Thursday 4 p.m. Eastern time slot. Anyway, that's it for me. See you next week.